of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, we come to you tonight. We ask you to look over this council, give us some guidance, and help us make the decisions for the citizens of Boonville. Amen.
Thank you, Morris. Can everyone hear us okay? Sherry, can you hear me? Okay, thank you very much. I would ask if you do have a cell phone that you turn it off or silence it at this time out of respect for everyone here. We'll begin by calling roll. Ehlers. Heaton.
Here.
Young.
Here.
Kelly.
Here.
Hurt. Beach.
Here.
Livingston.
Here.
Carter.
Here.
Thank you, Mary. Hearing of citizens' comments, this is a time when people can come and to the podium and speak about whatever might be on their mind. You are limited to 5 minutes, and we ask that you sign the paper with your name as well as the ward that you live in. So the podium is open.
Is it bad that I don't even know what ward I live in?
Let's start with the basic question. Do you live in town?
I do.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. No, it's not bad.
All right.
Just put your address down.
All right.
Joey lives on Bingham Road, right?
I do, yes, ma'am.
So I think that he's going to be in Ward 4, isn't he?
Okay. Kind of right there on the... I know.
Where do you vote? Yes, sometimes.
City Services Building.
Okay.
Members of the board, Madam Mayor, this evening, the members of the Boonville Pirates softball team, past and present, as well as my family and I, are here to represent the order that we brought to the park board here a few weeks ago as far as possibly renaming the ball field at Rolling Hills in memory of my father, William J. Bill Simmons, who recently passed away in March of this year. And we just wanted to come tonight and be here in support of that measure. So thank you for your time.
Okay. Thank you, Joey. You certainly have a good turnout. I think you almost have every chair filled.
Evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Gary Johnson with Alliance Water Resources, and I'd just like to update you on down at the water treatment plant as far as our hiring process. In the last 2 weeks, I've interviewed the employees down there, and Friday we completed our complete research and our process. This morning I was there. I offered all 4 employees positions. They accepted. So this afternoon we went back and did our first round on benefits, just to educate them on it, gave them some papers, and we're going back tomorrow to get that all signed up for them. So when the 1st of July comes, there's not going to be any lapse in any health insurance or any of those benefits. So I want to be the first one to tell you that we've got that completed, and they all accepted, so they're employed. I also last week had several interviews for a manager. I will introduce the local manager at the July 1st meeting. He's from one of our other divisions on the other side of the state, and he will be relocating to this area and starting July 1st. And then I'll introduce him and give you the background on him. But I'm really pleased to have this gentleman on the team here. He's real good. If you got any questions, I'll answer anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary. Any other public comments? I believe probably Gary has told you, and I've tried to kind of spread the word, the naming of the ballpark will not take place at this meeting. It's not on the agenda, but we will be bringing it up under miscellaneous to put it on next council meeting's agenda. So you're certainly welcome to stay for the entire meeting if you want to. I think probably the council has gotten the message how much support there is for this by your attendance here this evening, but you're welcome to come back to the next council meeting when we'll be taking action. Yes?
Actually, Mayor, we're gonna bring it up under miscellaneous and ask for a vote on it tonight.
You're going to ask for a vote?
Yes.
Okay. So those of you that have agendas, miscellaneous is towards the end, but like I said, you're certainly welcome to stay if you'd like. Okay. Any other public comments? Okay. We'll move along to approval of the minutes of the June 3rd, 2013 council meeting. You had those in your packet and have had a chance to review those. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Seeing or hearing none, we will take those as they were presented, and they will be approved. Consent items, we have none. Presentation of accounts and claims. Ned.
Madam Mayor, fellow council people, I need to inform you, tonight I'm abstaining from this vote. In this batch of checks that are going to be approved tonight, there is a check to my rental company on the 9010 sidewalk program. And if you're not familiar with that, the city has a program where you can replace old sidewalks, and you pay for it, and then the city reimburses 90% of the cost. I put in an ADA ramp for a lady over on Spring and 3rd, and as part of that process, we needed to replace the sidewalk in front of the property on 3rd Street as well as the property on Spring. And so I will not be voting on this. There is an adequate quorum, it looks like, Madam Mayor, so that we can go ahead and vote on this.
I have a question for the councilor on that subject. I participated in the 9010 before I became a council member, but since I don't see how a council member makes the decision on how that's spent, it's done through the staff members themselves, is it something he really needs to consider removing himself from the vote for?
I was very appreciative. Ned and I had an opportunity to review the specifics, and that's always helps. You have to remember that under state law, under the ethics guidelines, it's a prohibited act for a city council member to favorably act on a matter that will provide him or her with any kind of special pecuniary benefit and monetary benefit to himself, his spouse, or a certain relative. And when I looked at this, I looked at three things. I looked at the materiality of it. It's a fairly significant size, almost $5,000 for actually 2 sidewalks. The question that, you probably pose out there is, under the law, it really has to kind of be something that's special and different, that he's treated differently than everybody else. And that's probably on the borderline. However, he is a member of the landlord group. It's 2 properties, and it goes to the benefit of his business. So I kind of erred on the side of caution and advised Mr. Beach that he might well abstain from that. And I think that from the perspective of the community, when you have something like this come up, everybody understands it. That's, they elect people that are here and have businesses in the community and so forth, but you never want there to be any perception of an impropriety, and so this gives an opportunity to get it above board, and I don't think we'll have any problem with voting on the quorum, and appreciated the opportunity to look at it, and we do look at them on a pretty much an individual case-by-case basis to make those kind of decisions.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you.
Okay. Mary, if you would please read the presentation of accounts and claims.
Ordinance appropriating money. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the City of Boonville, which have been allowed by the Council at the regular meeting thereof on June 17, 2013, the sum of $364,460.32. General Fund, $184,013.98. Sanitation, $18,073.19. CIP tax, $8,215.50. Waterworks, $39,325.63. Capital projects, $600. Wastewater, $34,598.51. Tourism, $4,697.66. Gaming, $74,935.85. Parks, water, 0. Section 2, the bookkeeper is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks from their respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $364,460.32, being the total amount of money above appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. First reading on June 17, 2013, read for the second time the 17th day of June, 2013, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mark,
Mayor, I move we approve this ordinance.
do I have a second?
Mayor with second.
Thank you, Morris. Any discussion? Roll call.
Heaton,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Beach,
Abstain?
Livingston,
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We'll move along to unfinished business. We have the second reading of Bill Number 2013-019, renewal of land lease agreement with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources for the land under the caboose and railroad sign near the Katy Depot.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to renew the land lease agreement with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources for the land under the caboose and railroad signal for interpretation and historical display near the Katy Depot, providing an effective date, therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Mark,
Mayor, I move we approve this ordinance.
do I hear a second? Noah?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion? Megan, did you have any comments you wanted to make?
It's pretty straightforward. The renewal is just for the land on which the Katy Depot, the Katy caboose sits, and there were no major changes that we affected with the renewal.
Questions? Roll call.
Heaton,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
New business, item A, first reading of Bill Number 2013-020, authorizing, approving, and accepting a cooperative agreement and amended district projects for the Boonville Riverfront Transportation Development District.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, authorizing, approving, and accepting a cooperative agreement and amended district projects for continued transportation improvements in the Boonville Riverfront Transportation Development District on city property leased to the Isle of Capri for casino and hotel operations, authorizing Circuit Court of Cooper County filings for approval of amended district projects, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
I have a
Noah?
question about this, and two questions actually. One on the very last page that lists the projects. Can you refresh my memory on what the Gateway Monument sign is? I don't recall that.
I'm not sure if I know what the Gateway Monument is.
It's towards the bottom. It's in the bottom section, third from the bottom.
And Kate is not here tonight.
Okay.
She's the one that would know.
That's fine.
And Earl said, if you have any questions about this, he would really like for you to call him.
Okay.
He's gone this week, and Kate gets back tomorrow, I believe. So, they would be glad to answer any questions that you have,
Okay.
so.
Good.
Well, let's let him.
There was a second question too, and I don't know if anyone else can help on this one, but at the top where it says Highway B, the Ryan Drive, I remember when we put in that new entrance, and I remember it was 60,000, but to the right on the status, it says partial and remaining. Is that still the status of that? I thought that project was completed.
I'm not sure how they term that. Ryan Drive's on a city street, and the rest of it's a partial street, so maybe that entrance, maybe that's paid for. So that might just be how they're
But
applying.
the rest of that road's like shingle all the way back, okay,
Mhm.
gotcha, okay.
I just want to point out, I will talk to Earl about this like you recommended, but since this involves Ward 2, I wanted you two to know, representing Ward 2, that I plan to talk to Earl about the issue of the semi-trucks that are parking on Second Street relative to the hotel they're staying at. Although that's been how it's been done on occasion, they do have a shuttle to go to Love's and other locations that works out well also. It does create, in my view, an extra burden on that neighborhood as trucks drive through those small streets to get to that location to park or to leave that location from parking there. So I plan on bringing that up as a project I think that's applicable to the TDD. I don't understand the complexity of changing it, so I'll talk to him about that when he gets back.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Any other comments? Item B, consider resolution number R 2013-04, accepting a bid from Vance Brothers Incorporated for the asphalt pavement seals 2013.
A resolution of the City of Boonville, Missouri, authorizing and approving an agreement between Vance Brothers Incorporated and the City of Boonville, Missouri pertaining to asphalt pavement seals 2013 and providing an effective date therefor. Whereas, the City of Boonville has solicited and received bids for this project and determined that Vance Brothers Incorporated represents the best bid pursuant to the purchasing code set forth in Section 2-20 of the City of Boonville Code of Ordinances. Therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that a certain agreement between Vance Brothers Incorporated and the City of Boonville, Missouri relating to the asphalt pavement seals 2013, a copy of which is marked Exhibit A, is attached hereto and made a part hereof, is hereby approved. Section 2, that the city administrator and the city clerk are hereby authorized to execute and attest said agreement on behalf of the City of Boonville. Section 3, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval. Passed the 17th day of June 2013 by the City Council of Boonville, Missouri.
Do we have to have a second reading on this title? Okay. I'm looking for a motion. Mark,
Mayor, I move we approve this resolution.
do I hear a second? Noah?
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion?
Yes, I have a question.
We got a bunch of...
Hey, Emil, I assume this question is for you, you're up on the podium already. The fact that there was only one bid on this, does that concern us, or is it typical for this type of work?
No, and that's been that way for decades. Vance Brothers is the largest, or the only one large enough to travel this far to do. The only other folks that would do this kind of sealing are driveway, parking lot seals.
Okay.
So no, Vance Brothers has been the only player in this game for
I
some
wonder if
time.
this is deja vu, and you've told me this before, but, thank you.
Noah?
One thing I concerned was is the vast difference between our engineer's quote or estimate and their quote on the third item, the chip and seal itself. It was 98 cents per unit, which doesn't seem like much, but when you got over 13,000 units, that's the difference between what our engineer estimated the cost at and what the actual cost came in, $13,000 plus dollars. And the one before, number 2, it was off, 77 cents on 9,000 units. So again, that's almost $8,000.
Right. There's a couple issues with that. Last year, we paid $2.88 a square yard for slurry. We paid $3.08 for the chip and seal using the trap rock. Over the year, between then and now, the engineers and myself look at some, I guess you'd say, market indicators, and we didn't see that the price would increase or increase this much. So that was a bit of a surprise. Our plan is to get the approval on this tonight and then look at our project. We have 20 areas in town that are down for slurry and chip and seal. But remember, we do all 3 of our street improvements, concrete, asphalt overlays, and pavement seals as one line item. Actually, the sum of 2 line items, $92,000 in the 05 account and $380,000 in the 17 account. So we have the concrete street repairs, the asphalt overlays, and the pavement seals projects to look at. And our plan is to look at all three of those, and obviously, we're going to end up taking some out or not, or how we're going to do that, to make this and those other two fit within the total amount of budget money we have.
I guess my follow-up question to that would be, I mean, have you breached the subject with them, why so much this year, and did they give a reasonable explanation?
No, I have not talked to Vance Brothers myself. Scott and I visited on why it was over $1 increase. Generally, we try to keep our project large enough. It's one of those things where the higher the volume, the lower the price. I believe we had done that, so no, I don't know. I didn't talk to Vance why the increase was. And like I said, I didn't see any indicators that it was going to go up that much. You can't tie slurry and chip and seal to retail gas markets. You have to watch some of the crude markets. So it's not an easy thing to track.
You say you can't tie that gas prices to it?
Gasoline is not. Just because gasoline goes up a certain price doesn't mean the oil they use for asphalt goes up similar.
Well, they tie everything else to the gas prices. I can't believe they haven't tied that to it.
There you go. All the more reason it's difficult to track.
We don't want to get Henry started on gas.
And I'm sorry, I apologize. No, I didn't know I was. Any
other questions? Have the questions been answered?
Yeah, Mike brought up, anytime you're in a situation where you got one provider, you're sort of over the barrel a little bit, and it's not like we can vote no. We could, but if we do, we're not going to get our streets repaired. So it's pay $1 extra per unit, or...
Yeah, we used to do the pavement seals as a sub or a portion of the asphalt overlays. And we did it then because that meant that whoever the asphalt overlay contractor was supervising pavement seals, it always showed up Vance Brothers, then we were paying the markup by the general. That's when we pulled it out to save ourselves that markup, since we were seeing the same guy working for them. We bid it ourselves, and so, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'd like to have more players too, but there just aren't any.
That question?
Yes, Mike?
Is it possible we could go for a longer term on the contract to try to entice them to set a fixed price that will benefit us in the long run?
Well, I guess I don't understand longer term. We survey our streets, put together our three lists: concrete street repairs, which are generally standalone, then asphalt and pavement seals. And we don't go for a term, we go to solve a list of deficiencies. Are you suggesting that we bid this for a calendar period, all the projects?
Oh, you're saying that this won't necessarily cover us for the full year?
No, it doesn't cover a full year. It's to cover the 20 projects we have.
Right, but that's not 20 projects for this year.
Do what now?
That's only 20 projects we have projected for this year.
That's right.
Right, well, I'm just saying, is there any way that we could project the additional, like, say, 40 projects and expand it to another couple of years? Or is it too hard to do?
Well, nothing's too hard, clearly, because we do too hard all the time, but it would be difficult because I don't want to predict that a street's going to be in a particular condition a year from now. So if we have a hard winter, or there is some sort of repair in the street or some sort of excavation that would move a street that we believe is in one condition this year and it's in a completely different condition next year, I don't want it to be locked into a pavement seal application when it should be an asphalt overlay next year.
Let me see if I can...
Plus, our budget is also 1 year.
Yeah.
So we couldn't speak for next year's council.
Well, and it's not even the full calendar year. It's basically the warm months. So by November, I'm out of this business.
Yeah.
By Thanksgiving, we're out of this business.
Ned?
If we take it away from the projects and we take it away from the specific amounts, what we might be able to do with them, though, is to negotiate the cost, the square yard cost, the unit cost that Noah mentioned, is that you might be able to say this 3.2 that they whacked us with this year, say, well, you know, if we're gonna have to pay the $382, can't we pay that $382 for 3 years if we assure you that you're gonna be the folks that are gonna do the business? That doesn't tie into specific.
That's true. So you're going for a rate as opposed to...
Exactly, you go for a rate as opposed to a specific project. I don't know if they'll negotiate that way or not, ML, but
Yeah, and I don't-
that'd sure be worth talking to them, because then you'd have a steady cost with which to deal.
Yeah, I don't know if they will either, but I can predict an argument they're gonna come back as the volatility of the petroleum market.
Okay.
Sorry, Henry, I had to say that. Yeah, that's the first argument they're gonna give us for that long term, is just that.
So we have
Although the petroleum market is actually lower than it has been the last
Yes.
2 years.
And now
this
it's
has gone up 98 cents this year. So I think, at the very least, I think you've got an argument to go back and let them know that we noticed. Might not make a difference, because they might be the only person in Missouri that can do it for us, but we noticed.
It's tough when you're single-sourced.
Okay, any other questions? Roll call.
Heaton,
Yes?
Young,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes?
Hurt,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Reports of standing committees, Board of Public Works, Noah?
Yeah, the minutes were in the packet. ML went over the current jobs that we're doing and paying the bills. So, if you had any questions?
Any questions for Councilman Heaton? No? Police Board, Henry Hurt.
Yes, we met and we welcomed Mr. Tom Hoffer. He seems like he's really up on what we're doing at the police department, and the new base radio and surveillance system is in and working well. We bought couple new vehicles, as a matter of fact. So, seems like everything's going pretty good.
Okay. I think Councilman Heaton has...
Yeah, I noticed that under all the other points, when there was no information, they wrote none. Did I get something cut off mine on section 8, or?
You should have got it amended with the back printed. It was just a error of not getting both sides printed. It was at your place when you sat down.
Okay.
So be sure and look at the back for all the unfinished business and the new business. Okay? Any questions for Councilman Hurt? Planning and zoning, Councilman Beach.
We did not meet.
Okay. Reports of city officials, city administrator, mayor, I have nothing to report. City councilor?
I have nothing further this evening.
City clerk?
I have nothing to report.
Miscellaneous. Councilman Carter.
Gary, have you got our maps? I got two things I need to bring up that,
Okay.
I thought I'd bring the easy one up first.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
Thanks, sir.
Basically what this is a piece of ground that's out there by Dave's Country Mark, where the city lakes are. And, what Dave has offered is to lease that piece of ground to the city for $1 a year. And, what this will do, this will provide us some, parking area for our lakes out there behind Country Mark. So before Megan proceeded drawing up the paperwork, we wanted to make sure that the council was okay with this.
Okay. Gary,
So moved.
Gary, do you have any comments to make?
The only comment I have is this will actually give us legal access to our lakes and parking space for the people that use them.
Okay.
And I believe correct me, Gary, I believe only additional expense this is going to add to the city is we'll mow it.
Mow it and pave it in snow and so forth, or?
Yes.
Snow removal and paving
Well,
and mowing.
where would that be at?
Snow removal and mowing.
It's
The
already
street-
changed.
the street is-
Part of the paved,
Just repeating what he said.
oh, okay,
It's
yeah,
not a rule. Okay.
I think, say, the street itself now is not included. That's a
Okay.
private street.
yeah.
But there is
We're
a
only-
parking lot, isn't
Yeah,
there?
we're only
Okay.
talking about the grass area and that parking lot where he used to have his, vegetable stand.
But if you look at the bottom of the, down where that, 110 with the S in parentheses is, that's actually a driveway. So we could go in there and open that up to give the people that wanted to fish at the lakes access to without coming through the parking lot.
Is that paved or is that dirt? What is
It's gravel right now.
gravel? Okay.
Would this have to be done by ordinance?
Yes, we'll have an agreement. Any contract that comes, that binds the council, comes for the city council for review, is that ordinance and approval.
I'm sorry, I forgot to ask permission.
That's okay.
Does that mean that from our standpoint, do we need to do anything tonight? Do you need a motion from us that says we want to do it? Or
I would assume that Earl would kind of like consensus before I start going off and negotiating and developing and using my time to do that. Is that something that you all are interested in? Get a general consensus probably to have you do that work.
so moved?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Morris. Discussion. So Ned, could you, verbalize your motion, please, for Mary's benefit?
I move that we produce the ordinance to take advantage of this offer that Dave Nicholas has given us.
Okay.
Is that good enough?
That sounds good. Moving forward to take advantage of this generous request.
That's even better, so thank you.
Mary will clean it up for both of us, I'm sure. Roll call.
Keaton,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes?
Hurt,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Levinson,
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Okay. Morris?
Now, with, representing the park board, with, I guess, the park board in my great honor, what we would like to do is, request that, softball field out on Rolling Hills Park be renamed to Bill Simmons in his honor. That was discussed at the June park board meeting and, passed 100% to bring that recommendation to the council that, we rename that field. So I would like to make a motion that we, rename the ball field at the Rolling Hills Park, the softball field, in honor of Bill Simmons.
Okay.
Second?
Okay. Gary, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I'm just here to answer questions if anybody has any.
Okay, discussion. Noah?
Do we need to make an amend motion to have the first and second reading the same night?
Not on the motion, no.
Not on a motion?
But you do need to have a supermajority vote.
Thank you.
Which would be, how many, Megan?
Six.
Okay, Mike?
Was there any discussion at the park board that we need to consider in this decision? Was there any discussion opposed or of concern?
There are no concerns. The park board was unanimous in their decision to recommend that the council do it. I worked with Bill back in the 70s when he ran the men's softball program, and then, he was instrumental in getting the girls' program started, both recreational league type programs plus the high school girls softball program going, and spent hours and hours, and Alice was you hear baseball widows and football widows, Alice was a softball widow, except that the girls played, so she got to go along. It was that was his life, and, he spent countless hours on it, never got a penny out of anything for it, so speaking on behalf of the board, we think it is appropriate to do.
Any other questions or discussion?
I'd like to make a comment. It took Bill's death for me to see some of this stuff that, I mean, I saw it, but, you know, when you're younger and busy, you don't understand how much stuff they're actually doing. And, you know, myself, I've volunteered a lot in different organizations and stuff, and most of the time you don't want anything for it. I just hate it that it has to be after he's gone that we do this, but I do recommend that we do it, and it just brings back so many memories. I can see him out there at Lions Park calling balls and strikes, and, you know, it's just like it was just yesterday. I mean, time has really flown when I think about it, you know. So.
What my plan is to do is, if the council approves it tonight, is if you've been to Rolling Hills, or the last time you were there, if you looked, we've got a banner underneath the scoreboard that says Home of the Lady Pirates. Yeah, that we actually bought when we bought the scoreboard. And my plan is to replicate or get a sign very similar to that to put immediately under the scoreboard, and then move the Lady Pirate sign down right directly below that. And then probably, if I can make everything happen all right, I think it would be appropriate to try to have the dedication ceremony, first home girls softball game,
Okay.
which would be sometime mid to late August.
Okay. Well, I think we need to vote on this and get
I think
things
we do
going.
too.
Roll call. We have to wait, no, we have to vote on it, we have to vote.
Heaton,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Now you can cheer. Well, thank you very much for coming tonight. We love to have visitors, so we'd like to invite you to come back anytime. And we thank the Simmons family for all that they've done, and feel this is very deserving. So thank you very much. We'll look forward to the dedication of the field. Any other miscellaneous? That's kind of hard to top. Noah's going to
It's hard to
try.
stop. No, I'm not
Okay.
gonna try to stop it, but, at the first meeting last month, I had proposed a motion about having the city, take the filming that we do every night here and post it on the internet. Councilman Carter and the council, he made the motion to table it for 30 days. The council unanimously voted to do that. It's been more than 30 days, so I'd like to bring down from the table that motion and rediscuss it
Tonight?
tonight.
I believe part of the direction of the council was also to have the staff look into various aspects of it. And I can tell you, he has not had time to do that. So.
I was gonna say, I think it'd be improper to do it tonight until we have a report back from Earl.
Yeah. Noah?
Why don't you, if I could, just suggest putting it on the next agenda?
Is
Okay.
that enough time? Will you have time to?
I
It's
can't
July
speak for
1st.
him. Yeah, I can't
Let's
speak
do
for him.
the second meeting in July.
That would be excellent. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay? Everybody hear that and understand? Okay?
15th, is that correct?
I believe so, yes. Okay, any other miscellaneous? Hearing none, I will call for an adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, people, for coming tonight.